This is a video overlooking Palm Springs at about 5:20 in the morning on day 10. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. This is the sunrise over Palm Springs. We hiked at the end of yesterday, pretty dry, and we've been going this morning for about 5 miles without a lot of water. Finally, we got to an unmarked water source. Had to climb up a hill, but as you can see, it's flowing really well. And this is supposed to be fresh snow melt from up above. Finally made it to the peak at about 8,600 feet. I'll be taking the Saddle Junction down to Idlewild. Some more hikers coming up. Just beautiful up here with all the snow. And it's actually warm. I'm not cold in my shorts at all. Again. Okay. I got video. Video? Down the Devil's Slide Trail, leaving the PCT and coming down to Idlewild. It's about a 3-mile hike that unfortunately is not on the PCT, but it will get us to town, and hopefully I'll get a hotel and certainly a shower and some laundry. So this is first view of Idlewild. Edwin scored us a ride out of the parking lot. Would have been like a 2.9-mile road walk, but some nice people gave us a ride in to Idlewild. Cute little town. So one thing I'd always heard about Idlewild was that the mayor of Idlewild is a dog. And it looks like this is Mayor Max, who's very famous among PCT thru hikers, and he is the mayor of Idlewild. Hi, buddy. Yes. Are you having a good day? Oh, yeah. You're a good boy. Like the deputy mayors. There's 2 of them. Look at them. Are they related to Max?
They are. They're cousins.
Oh.
These 2 are brother and sister.
You guys are beautiful. Starting up the Devil Slide Trail here on day 13, April 27th, about 2.5 miles and 1,700 feet. So we're not even on the PCT, and we've got a heck of a climb ahead of us. At about mile 180 on the PCT, about 8,500 feet, climbed about 2,300 feet so far today, and I've got another 2,300 to go. It's been good so far, but I'm starting to feel the thin atmosphere up here, getting harder to breathe. Okay, so we're up at about almost 9,000 feet, and the snow is getting pretty thick. So Edmund and I are putting on our micro spikes for the first time. Let's see if I remember how to do it. Oh, gotta pull them up in the back a little more. Wonderful. About 10,000 feet, just crossing it, and about a mile to go. Everything is snow covered now, so it's a little bit slippery and a little bit slow going, but the peak is only about a mile away and about 800 feet more of elevation. We're getting close. We're walking this path. It's a very thin path of packed snow, and if you go to the right, it's kind of a very steep slope down. There's really not a well-defined path up here. We're doing the best we can to stay close to it, but we're only about maybe 3/4 of a mile to the top. Approaching the emergency shelter. It's right below the San Jacinto Peak. Almost there. Okay, so I'm at the emergency shelter just below the peak of San Jacinto. We'll be going up in a few minutes. Everybody's packing up, and should get some great views up there. Can't wait.
Do you have a timeline? Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, so I finally made it to the top of Mount San Jacinto. I'm looking off to the east, which is Palm Springs over there. You can see the windmills down there in the wind farms. And then so off to the north is Big Bear, part of the mountain up there that we have to skirt with the snow on it. Then you can see the haze coming from LA off to the west. And here we're just covered with snow. It's at 10,834 feet. It took a lot of effort today, about 6 hours to get up here, but we finally made it. And it's really a great start to the PCT. Coming down off of the San Jacinto Peak, Edwin and I were supposed to take the North Peak Trail. He got misoriented, took the South Trail, and had an extra 8 miles to go. I went down the North Trail, which was not well defined, and I had to keep using my GPS to make sure I stayed on the trail. Most of the way down the North Peak Trail, there were no footprints to follow, so I kept using my GPS. The bad news was I kept post-holing through the snow up to my hips. I fell down several times, but thank goodness for the GPS, I was able to find the trail and get back to the PCT. So this is what I was doing coming off of the peak, and now for the last 2 miles into camp, trying to follow footprints in the snow and keep checking my GPS to make sure I'm close to the trail. There's like just a lot of footprints, so you got to make sure you're on a pretty good set. It looks like I am right now. My GPS is good. So I camped in this large camping area at about 190.5 last night. Really nice camp spot. There were probably 15 or So other hikers here, a lot of flat area. And we're coming off the mountain today. Going to lose about 6,000 feet in elevation, going from the snow-covered mountains all the way down to I-10 down there below. A lot of downhill today. About mile 181, hitting this big rock field. Still got a long way down the mountain, about 19 miles to go down the mountain. But the views are spectacular. Really starting to get back into the desert environment now. It's really starting to change quickly. The video from about mile 186, the flowers are really starting to come out here, and the views over the valley are still unbelievable. And finally got here. Here it is, 200 miles on day 14. All right. This big lizard at about mile 201. It's really about the biggest one I've seen. So I'm coming down now to the desert floor. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, pretty hot. Been walking all day, but I only have a couple miles left. It's quite the change from yesterday playing in the snow, and now in the heat of the day and in the flowers. But I'm almost done for the day. It's been a good day, very pretty. The views have been very different with all of the windmills out there in the valley below. This is the overpass or I-10. PCT goes right underneath it, and a lot of hikers sleep underneath it. There's no good campsites for miles either way. Say your name again?
Pope.
All right, we got some trail magic here from Pope. Got Gatorade and oranges and fruit salad and cookies.
Yeah, I'll take it.
About 8:30 in the morning on the 15th day on trail, just leaving I-10 near Palm Springs. The wind this morning is incredible. Got to be gusts 40, 50 miles an hour. Hopefully by the time we get up into the hills in about 3 hours, it will have either calmed down or be blocked. Right now I'm walking on the desert floor, and there's no way to hide from the wind. Hard to believe I was up in those mountains yesterday. They're all fogged in today. That is Mount Jacinto, right up there, 10,800 feet. But look at this, the sandstorm that's down here in the valley this morning. I'm glad I'm not over on that side. Over here, it's just windy, but very manageable. This is a good view of the Mesa Wind Farm. Today the wind is just howling, but they must have the turbines turned off for some reason, because hardly any of them are actually moving. I've made it to the Whitewater River now, so I'm out of the wind for a while. Very desert-like down here. You can see why they call it the Whitewater River. The stones that surround it are extremely white in color, and it is a very desert atmosphere here. So it's my 15th day out. I'm sitting here by the Whitewater River. Beautiful spot for lunch, and I'm enjoying a feast today, and that feast is a bagel with Velveeta cheese and pepperoni. So it's a pepperoni sandwich with Velveeta cheese. It's quite yummy. Mission Creek at mile 128, and the creek has washed out the trail. Basically, we're just following the creek uphill, and we'll eventually find the trail back again. Got to do this tree crossing across the river. It's a nice big one, at least. Just take your time. It doesn't look like it's bad at all. Very solid. That was actually very easy. Finally made it into our campsite at mile 229 at about 6 o'clock. That was the end of day 15. Thanks for watching.